this ever happen to you? Hey,
Say something quick.
you have a nice nose.
That was awkward. Definitely should not have said that. Now he's gonna think I'm weird. Why do I keep thinking I'm annoying? This is the worst.
In this video, I'll be going over 3 things. The first one is common misunderstandings about anxiety. 2 is what does time do to shyness? And 3, how do you improve your anxiety? Now, for the first point on common misunderstandings about anxiety, for me, often I hear people say things like, I can't talk to people because of my anxiety. And to tell the truth, yeah, it is very paralyzing. When I felt anxious, I just couldn't move. I can't get my body to do the things that I wanted to do. And at the same time, it might even get into the point where I might have trouble breathing because I was so nervous, my palms are sweating. Anxiety is a very real thing. However, the point that I want to make here is that you can feel all these things, but fear is normal. So what do I mean by this? Fear is normal in the sense that it is an emotion, just like any other emotions that we have in our bodies, like happiness, sad, anger, embarrassment. Emotions were never meant to dominate over us or have control over us. Then why can't we control our own anxieties? That is because we have given it more power than we should have. We have made it a habit to be afraid of fear. Whenever we feel fear, we instantly pull back and we give up more control. We don't try to face it because it paralyzes us. And when that becomes a habit, it feels like you have no other options to do. So I'm going to tell you a little story about what happened to me that made me feel incredibly nervous. And this was back then when I was an air quality scientist. I was driving, and you know those walkie-talkies that you have? Yeah. My manager talked to me through that walkie-talkie and says, "Hey Augustus, after you finish, come and see me." And that's it. Nothing else. And the worst part is, everyone who was on that line can hear it. And for me, what was going through my mind, I was like, oh my goodness, did I blow something up? Did a project fail? Am I gonna get fired? Like, why would you tell me to come in and then not tell me the reason for why I'm coming in? So in my mind, all these horrible scenarios were just coming up, and I was frantic. And I was driving at that time, and it was really bad that I was so nervous that I had to pull over to the side and just stop for a little bit. And like I literally felt like there was this ball right in front, like, or somewhere around my throat, around here. And I was just trying to breathe. I was like breathing up and down and trying to literally slow down my pace because it felt incredibly uncomfortable. Like I didn't know what's going to happen. I'm not immediately going to be back there for my work, so I had no idea what the problem was. So I'm sitting here just literally breathing and just trying to control my emotions in this situation. And that's what I did. It felt very uncomfortable, but I just focused on breathing even though it was hard. So when I got back to the office, it was really nothing. It was some sort of paperwork that I didn't finish. So it was fine. However, for me, through that experience, I have learned that I can still maintain who I am, even though I'm incredibly nervous, and I have the ability to overcome that emotion. The whole point of this is just to say that It's a practice, it's a habit, and emotions were never meant to be the person or the thing that controls our lives. Now, the second point I want to talk about is, what does time do to shyness? Yeah, I'm just going to be very straight here. Time almost does nothing to help your shyness. If anything, time probably makes your shyness worse. Because just like a habit, if you keep on doing the same things over and over, you reinforce that habit. Shyness isn't something you just grow out of. Time really is just time. If you have done nothing with that time, then nothing changes. Your experiences will be the same. You'll be doing the same things again and again. Like, one of the worst feelings you can have is if you just stayed in your room for 4 years. You literally just wasted 4 years. And then you look across and then you see that other person having fun, hanging out with their friends, and then you wonder, why are you not doing it? That feeling of regret is horrible. Now, on to our third point. How do you improve your anxiety? So, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. So if you're under really serious conditions, like, please just go see your doctor. Let them handle it. Let the professionals do it. From my experience, if you're dealing with social anxiety, the best starting point from what I've seen is probably meditation. Now, before you skip this, I recommend this not because it's like trendy or it's really cool, or what you really want is something that works. And if meditation has been what works, then just do it. For any anxiety mentalities I've encountered, first you have your mistake, which is you maybe accidentally say something weird to someone. The punishment isn't actually the punishment. It's more like if someone gives you a weird look, or someone excludes you or didn't invite you to something. That's the actual physical punishment from the group that you're trying to get in. Now, here's the important part. This is your self-punishment. Even if other people have punished you, when you're self-punishing yourself, this is when you start saying things like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Life sucks. Maybe I should have just stayed quiet. You're down on the ground and you just kept kicking yourself. And this mentality increases the anxiety of your overall situation. And that is a circular loop, because that increased anxiety makes you punish yourself even more because you don't want this to happen next time. And that increases the anxiety again. And this loop, you can go on this for like 10, 30 times, as much time as you want. And this makes your mistake, or the feeling of making a mistake, so much harder, like maybe 50 times worse than what it originally is. And that is absolutely horrible. Now let's take a look at meditation. I don't know why my cursor changed, but meditation makes this process different. You still have your same mistake, you have your same punishment, but now instead of self-punishment, you have self-reflection, which is basically you assessing the situation objectively, and you understand what's going on. However, after that, you accept whatever happens. You have your thought of, man, I didn't do that well, I should have changed, but then you accept it, and you just let the situation and the thought just go. And when that happens, it stops right there. No anxiety is created, nothing happens after that. The next mistake, you will base the changes off your self-reflection, and that's it. So can you see how the difference between these two mentalities, and how this loop really serves to self-destruct yourself and increases anxiety levels beyond what it needs to be? And this is why I feel like meditation really helps you. Now, why doesn't meditation work for most people? I would say the big reason is probably inconsistency. because meditation is really a change of mental habits. It takes time for you to change your thinking. Think about how long it took you to cultivate different habits you have, like simply learning how to write. It took time to do that. At the same time, meditation is doing the same thing with your mind and your type of thinking. If you want to break that circle of anxiety that's really making your mindset worse, then it needs time. It's not going to be something that you'll feel a dramatic improvement in like 2 or 3 times. This is a daily practice. And I know that it's hard to go through this yourself without any support, and it really feels isolating sometimes. So if you want, you can sign up for this link down below, where basically I will send you an email every day for the next 14 days telling you about meditation and reminding you to meditate. That's if you want support. But if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Try it and see if that improves your anxiety. Stay strong, stay healthy, keep on going,